No. Papi, you can't wait for me to spin. I'll leave the whole town now. You can judge people.
I just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people like you can here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you talk in the question, because I say when I move from here, I'll free. Because I say when I move from here, I'll free. You said one talk again. I wanted to make a whole talk clear to you, but you double in the question. Hi, land looking, hi, you looking. Hi, looking, then you want force no more word there again. Why not be looking to the top? I'm not going to talk again. And said they call me to the office, I go explain.
I think you explain to me that you come look at you say you get a tea to the man. After you get a tea to the man, and you come now. So what next now?
And for me, I'll not there.
Nobody, you getting very. You say asking you too much question. Hey, there's me things say make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then you.
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, like why now?
Go to school. The English say I need the English.
Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Sorry.
Say Ali, you take time. You take time.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Say I can take time
to explain. Yeah, okay.
I'm filled with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your president and commander-in-chief for the past 6 years. Together in 2018, we embarked on a journey to build a united, peaceful, and prosperous Liberia. And I am deeply thankful for the trust and support you have bestowed upon me and my administration during my tenure. As we navigate the complexity of governance, your partnership was instrumental in the development and implementation of policies and programs that aim to bring progress and development to our great nation. Reflecting on the accomplishment of these 6 years, let me tell you that I am proud of what we have achieved together. We have built roads, supported free wires and free tuition at high schools and public universities, stabilized the macroeconomic challenges we face in 2018, built hundreds of pro-poor housing units, and achieved on so many fronts that we are able to list here today. However, I acknowledge that there is always room for improvement, and perhaps more could have been done under different circumstances. Regrettably, some of the long-term projects we initiated did not reach completion during my tenure. I am hopeful that the incoming administration will carry the torch forward and bring these initiatives to fruition for the benefit of all Liberians. Fellow compatriots, rumors and misinformation have played a large part in our politics over the last 6 years. It is my hope we as a country will overcome this challenge over the next 6 years. To begin this, we must start with the facts of the transition. I must report to you that we are leaving behind a better economy than we inherited. Today, President-elect Joseph Nima Bouaka will inherit a stronger economy than I inherited. There is a bigger net international reserve position than was handed me in 2018. I inherited 94,999,000 United States dollars in net international reserves. And I am handing over to the next administration a net international reserve position of 222,700,000 United States dollars. This is 136% increase in the net international reserve position. The total cash balance in the government's consolidated account is United States $40,044,365.90. In 2018, my government inherited a consolidated cash position of $7 billion United States dollars. The next administration thus has more resources to deal with emergency macroeconomic challenges than my administration had at its disposal in 2018. My fellow citizens, through our time together, I held still fast to two cornerstones of leadership: keeping the peace and upholding the democracy democratic process and the root of our democratic journey. I am immensely proud that during my tenure, Liberia remained at peace with itself and at peace with its neighbor. Our armed forces, the force of good, were never turned against our own people, and external actions were confined to international peacekeeping mission under the United Nations. This peace, sustained by our own domestic resources, is a testament to the maturity and strength of our nation. We protected the inalienable rights of every Liberian citizen as enshrined in our Constitution. Freedom of speech, assembly, and expression were not only preserved, but celebrated. There were no political prisoners or prisoners of conscience during my entire term, a testament to the development of strong democratic institutions that are now not only hailed as competent and professional, but as trusted and credible. Liberia is now regarded as a pillar of democracy in West Africa and a shining example to the world. This was only made possible through our various collaborative efforts. I want to thank all Liberians, regardless of your political affiliation, for staying the course and helping build a stronger and more vibrant nation. As I step aside as President of Liberia, I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC, in order to ensure the continuation of our strong and vibrant democracy. I therefore urge you, my fellow citizens, to continue to be law-abiding and seek peaceful means to resolve differences, embrace tolerance and dialogue. Let us love one another and come together as one people, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us remember the strength of our unity, the resilience of our democracy, and the hope that lies in the future of Liberia. As we welcome a new era, let us move forward hands in hand with a shared commitment to building a united nation that will continue to strive on observing the tenets of democracy and adhering to the rule of law. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the Republic of Liberia.
Those who wrote the speech, inauguration, everybody happy. We are rejoicing over the defeat of the old regime. We are rejoicing about our effort to bring a new regime. Then we'll sit down with happiness. We go write paper for that 79-year-old man. He's talking to me. Then before that, I will tell United Nations, I will tell US, I will bring one man here. Because you think one man will have been Johnson? I will tell the owner of bringing when he comes to play.
When you elect a clown and you think that he will be a king, what he does is to convert the kingdom into a circus. This is what we must deal with, and this is what we must say. Who do we elect into our public offices? Because, as I've said before, when you allow hyenas to take care of goats, why should you be surprised when the goats are eaten? This is the same. And Africa is only going to realize our potential in all areas when, by dint of choice, we enable and allow our best men and women to serve in different areas. I've heard it being said about Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries, but there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May of 2001, signed a second of two executive orders, number 13213, Defense Exhibit D310, in which it was stated, and I quote, the government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by the government of Liberia contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194, with respect to which the President declared a national emergency. This executive order did not say the alleged complicity, it concluded the complicity. The conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood a chance. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual framework behind the charges against me. Now, with the two executive orders, the dogs were let out, so to speak. What followed was a dispatch of the attack pack led by Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, Defense Intelligence 30 years prosecutor. He, Crane, unlawfully unsealed the court's sealed indictment to his handlers, senior U.S. government officials at the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, and was never held to account. The rest of the operational team are Colonel Brandon Hollis, Defense Intelligence, CIA, U.S. Air Force, Senior Trial Counsel, and Armed Prosecutor. James C. Johnson, U.S. Army expert, 20 years on conventional and special operations, Chief of Prosecutions for the SCSL. Alan White, 30 years, Defense Intelligence, recalled from retirement to head up investigations at the Special Court of Sierra Leone. Stephen J. Rapp came on board as Chief Prosecutor for a short time with experience from Capitol Hill, where he served with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee sometime before. It came as no surprise to me that as a reward of sorts for Stephen Rapp's diligence in the execution of U.S. foreign policy objectives through these ad hoc tribunals, he was appointed U.S. Ambassador at Large for War Crimes issues. In support of the contextual framework of politics, on February 8, 2006, Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, prosecutor, appeared before a U.S. Congress Subcommittee on Africa, Defense Exhibit D404, and spelled out in clear terms the decision taken in support of regime change in Liberia and what needed to happen to solidify that process. There was little mention, if any, in his testimony about Sierra Leone. And here is what he said. I posit that 5 years from now, when the international community is challenged by other crises, Taylor in Calabar, under the protection of Nigeria, will make his move. We will wake up one morning and watch on CNN as Taylor rides triumphantly down the main street in Monrovia to the executive mansion, daring all of us to come and get him. Unless he is handed over to the Special Court for Sierra Leone, this scenario is not out of the realm of possibilities. He then asked, how do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the Special Court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Fani Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the Special Court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates The significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop slipping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us a little and abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. People, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop slipping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us more, yeah? Okay, let's go. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us.
Oh yes, and I know that all of you who normally make it your duties and responsibility to join the show, you were already up awaiting the start of this edition of the program.
The people lie to us.
It's Monday, the 27th of May 2025. Let me say a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora, our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have all of you joining us tonight for the next 1 hour. 40 minutes. We are going to talk hard as usual, as always, about the hard issues involving the hard personalities. And so, you know, normally the weekend will bring up a lot of issues. And so we use Monday to clear up everything that transpired on the weekend or over the weekend. Before we begin the new week with the different issues. Oh yes, the Sano County Senator spoke last week strongly. And I kept listening to him back to back for the entire weekend. And we're going to play except from what he said on last week in the Senate. And I received also over the weekend a statement from the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism on behalf of the government. A strong worded statement. A bold one, I like to call it. A bold statement. Stretching and striking deep in the face of Bomi County Senator Edwin Snow. And a member of the CDC said to me, Austin, The political debate is strong and getting hefty. All we require of the ruling party or the ruling establishment is that we should keep a healthy vote of personal attacks. And just as the ruling establishment is prepared to attack and go to war, it should also prepare and open up for war. Because you will not be attacking and be expecting to be served ice cream and honey and milk in return. But whatever the case is, we are going to make sense of all of these issues that are still happening in our country. The National Patriotic Party of Liberia has also issued a statement towards the regard. It's a condemnation against the statement coming from the government. I'm so CMC has also issued one. Senator Snow has also responded to the government. Oh, what a beautiful way our democracy from the intellectual perspective. And what a sad way our democracy is treading from the political, administrative, and governing perspectives. So over the weekend, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Richard Nangbekun, said the removal of Speaker KAWAH was driven by political motives and not necessarily a legal one, or all of the claims and allegations that were levied against Speaker KAWAH, former Speaker KAWAH. This is no news to some of us because we said that these things were political. Just that the confession is coming out, and we thought to flag it for those of you who follow us to know that everything we told you about the removal of KAWAH, the actors, the key actors themselves now are confessing. But at the end of the day, we have to move forward. We have to move on as a country. In fact, continue the fight to strengthen our democracy and build respect for our rule of law. Yes, that's the size and shape of the show tonight. This is Freedom FM. This is Freedom Hard Talk. This is the only political fellowship on radio at about this time. And this show is proudly sponsored by Crime Stopper Liberia and in partnership with Yanxing Beer. All of you who join us tonight to fellowship with us, we will take a break from our sponsor and our partner. When we come back, we join all of you tonight. Welcome you to the fellowship and ask you to play your role as a worshiper here tonight by sharing our live and inviting others to follow. All of you watching us are in chat rooms. All of you watching us are on Facebook. So we ask you to share the show, and share the show, and invite others to join us.
The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can knock.
My name is Austin KAWAH. We shall be back just shortly after this break.
Introducing Yanjin Beer from Beijing, the newest sensation in town. Yanjin Beer is so smooth and light. You can drink it, wake up in that morning, feeling very energized. And you wicked boy, the woman will be very happy. No headache, no eye spinning. Yanjin Beer bottle, it got a special way to open. Nobody will ever use you for an opener again. Very easy. Yanjin Beer can be found wholesale or retail at Sir Exeter and Jungle Water, and also in supermarkets or bars around you. Reward yourself by drinking Yanjin Beer, and trust me, you will be ready to go.
Okay, Crime Stopper.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime and put it, don't take law in your hand for the real authority. Well, you can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us. bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human talking, I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You my part to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Hey man, so see anywhere you go, Yanging, you drinking fresh and ready to go, Yanging. I say excuse me, Yanging. Trying to bring another one, cause you know we starting the show. You will like it, so will like it. See everybody's talking about it around town. It's a brand new bowl with the pop top sound. Smooth drink if you wanna cool down. With that chili's best to taste if you wanna goes down. Yanging, pass me another one, cause I know we're still in the show. Yanging, I know one the other one. See anywhere you go. Yanging, you drinking fresh and ready to go. Yanging. I say excuse me, Yanging. Bartender bring another one, cause you know we starting the show. Yanging, you will like it, you will like it. Yanging.
Okay, folks, thanks for rejoining us. Okay, thanks for rejoining the show. A lot seem to be coming up, and seem to be coming up. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. So let's welcome some of you who've joined us tonight. Some of you who are joining us on the show, and then we'll get run into those stuff. A lot of you joining us tonight. We expect that all of you will share the show on anywhere, or in all of the places. Mawata Ability, thank you for joining. Welcome. Sebastian Williams, welcome. Steven Yaka, welcome. Odea Gibson, Domo Love, Domo. Welcome to all of you. Tonight, Peter Wonde, Bala Fumba, Dumont Hill, thanks to all of you. CDC Pape Success Keita, Stennis Sharif, welcome to the show. Aliyu Kamara, Phoenicius Junior Bar are all joining us tonight. Emmanuel Bro, has also joined the show. Moses Masakwa is joining tonight. Oh yeah. Austin, I enter your class tonight to get the information you promised to provide the class. The 17 names on the security or police radar for wanting to exercise their franchise to protest. Okay, so we will have students that are following. We have members that are following the scriptures. When we assign them different scriptures and different lessons to go and stuff, we have people that are following. Thanks for the reminder. It is actually on the list, but I couldn't announce it because we announced it last week. So don't worry, we'll call the list. The 17 names tonight. All the 17 names, we'll call the names tonight on the show. So yes. Timothy LTA, Juju Wonwe, Agatha Glasgow, Saturday, Maurice Kuman, Chris Kofa. Thanks to all of you. Okay, so thanks for joining the show. Asata Miller, Musa Sharif, all of you who joined tonight. Thanks, and please share the show. I know some of you, there are some men who are not politicians. They can just follow the show because of me. There are some people who are also not politicians. They only follow the show because of me. So it becomes difficult to have them or see them sharing the show. Besides, there are other people who are working in government. They are civil servants. Some are contractors. They'll follow the show, but they can't share the show. And because this government is ruthless and lawless and careless and irresponsible. So those civil servants and contractors who follow the show, they are skeptical of sharing the show on their personal pages before somebody go take it and send it in their office chat room, and then they start being haunted on their jobs to take their late jobs or their late contracts from them. So we can understand all of that too. So some of you who are not sharing the show or don't share the show, I understand. We appreciate all of you and one of you for joining us. Those of you in Radio Land, that's the biggest coverage of the show across the world, the online radio, and the people who listen to the show, follow the show via the radio. Thanks to all of you for joining tonight. So there is something that the government folks are running with. And so I think I want to proffer an advice tonight and give them a chance and see whether they will take it, because I think there are other technical issues based on our research and consultations that the government did not consider, and technicians believe that the government should consider all of these, should consider setting requirements and standards. So let me see. Okay. So the government announced, or I have been seeing government people sharing photos of vessels being constructed or being built by some group of Chinese. I have not seen a statement from the government, an official statement from the government, to indicate that the government has an official position on the matter, like we see from either the Ministry of Information or the Ministry of Mines and Energy or the Ministry of the Liberia Maritime Authority. So we have not seen any official statement to represent the government's position on what is being considered as the building of a couple of vessels in Liberia by Chinese. But here's what I think. You see, the way some of us or some of you who support the government, the way you run with information is dangerous for your information path. It's dangerous for your propaganda path. Should I even go that route? Okay, but let me just say it. I will say it short. Now, the same way all of you UP people are running all around with sharing, oh, Joseph Barker is doing well. Joseph Barker has vision. Joseph Boakai means well for this country. For the first time in the history of Liberia, Honor Joe Boakai, a vessel or couple of vessels, ships are being built in Liberia by Chinese. This is good news. It's going to create jobs for Liberians. It's going to help to build a middle class and all of that. So all of you running around now, my only concern is the same way you're running around and posting for me are doing screenshots and saving videos and all of that for about comments about this vessel, because when push comes to shove and when there a cover bit in case there are casualties or there are resentments from international bodies about the building or the construction of this vessel, the government of Liberia, the same Joe Boakai must be able to muster that courage, that moral rectitude to take responsibility for any casualties. That's all I can say. I rest my case. So, and I say you shouldn't run around with, Joe Boakai building shape and all of that. I read a piece from a young man, Avamo. I think I should read this. He said the Chinese building ships in Liberia is great news, especially for the first time. However, I have some concerns. Do we have the experts to inspect these ships? Do we have naval engineers or marine safety professionals on the ground? Do we understand the physics, the systems, the risks? How can we even independently know something is not wrong, is not right? The shipbuilding is not guesswork. It demands precision, testing, and regulation. Do we have the laws, the tools, and the will to say no if something is not right? Are we part of the process or just watching from the side, relying on the Chinese to be the builders, evaluators, and regulators? These are my humble concerns as a Liberian involved of politics. I do believe we need ships to navigate our ocean and help us benefit from our marine system. But jobs, more jobs, improve fishing, increase water transportation, water tourism, and many more will come. But we need to have our own technician or technical and regulatory measures in place. And okay, so that's it. I thought to feature that. Yeah. The reporters covering the legislature issue a statement today. I see them complaining. I thought to feature this because I once covered the legislature, and I think I should have interest in these kinds of contents coming from the legislature. And this is under the caption, legislature declares toxic relationship with Senate Press Bureau, demands end to intimidation and exclusion. They say they've been intimidated and excluded, and so they want an end to these treatments. The legislative press pool has condemned what it describes as a toxic and deteriorating relationship with the Liberian Senate Press and Public Affairs Department. Speaking at a Senate hosted workshop, legislature criticized the recent suspension of its Vice President Jackson C. Clay Jr. for expressing a dissenting view, calling the action punitive and an attack on press freedom. The organization also raised concerns about persistent denial of access to legislative documents and exclusion of independent journalists from official Senate events. The legislature followed the declared abrupt security changes at the Capitol that have disrupted reporters' work, urging better communication from the press bureau. The group lamented the Senate leadership's continued refusal to meet with legislature to address ongoing challenges. These are not good news where reporters covering any of the branches of government or all the branches of government to start having or complaining publicly about a toxic relationship I think this should claim the attention of the Senate leadership, especially the chair on Rules, Order, and Administration, Senator Blebo Brown. And I think, our days covering the Senate, that this complaint is an old age thing. And some of us were able to navigate our way through because we're able to build personal relationships with the senators directly. And so it made it easier for us to navigate our ways through, which should not be the case because as reporters covering the legislature, especially the leadership, you were supposed to advocate on behalf of the reporters, having access to contents, having access to documents, having access. That one has been an old age thing. I know. I remember General Tompo used to say to us, "My man, he said the vice president's signature on the vice president's signature on the document. We can give it to you. How can I give you documents with the president's signature on the document?" So when the president sends some communications at the Senate, our colleagues from the House will have the communication from the executive mansion with President Salih's signature on it. When you go to the Senate for the communication, General Tombo will say, "No, we can't give you the communication because the president's signature is on the document." If you are lucky and the Senate is giving you a document from the president's office or from E-Marshal, they will photocopy the document in a way where the president's signature will not be there. We were there till then, until now. We still struggle to understand the rationale behind that decision. The president writes an open communication, an official communication to the Senate, either nominating somebody or requesting the Senate to take action on a particular legislative instrument or is submitting some financing agreement, and her signature is on the document, and the Senate press bureau is telling you, "We can't give you journalists the document because the president's signature is on the document." But you go to the House, journalists covering the House will have access to the same document because the president will send the document to the two chambers, the two bodies. So those in the House will access the document. Those in the Senate will not access the document because the president's signature. So when I hear, seeing these colleagues still complaining about having access to documents and all of that, that has been an age-old problem. And it's good that the person who is the chair on Rules, Order, and Administration has been in the Senate when we were encountering those problems. Is aware of these different challenges that these reporters are complaining. They just want access to information. That's all. And the grant access to information should not be something difficult. But leaders, I don't know why politicians find it so difficult to make it. To create a flexible environment, for journalists to do their work. If they do not have anything to hide, I don't think in this time and age, reporters should be struggling and complaining, coming public with complaint to decry, lawmakers not giving them access to documents and all of that. We have to go. We have to go. Just today, I heard that, and that's why I was celebrating. Somebody said, "My man, that's my first time hearing you talking something good about Yomli." I say, it's not about Yomli. It's about the leadership of the Senate. Yomli was in our Senate. Under CDC, she was chair on Rules, Order, and Administration. And, they could not think about building a website for the Senate that would grant easy access to easy access to information about their activities and their programs. So this can be a personal glory that she should claim now that she's Senate pro tempore. We should be celebrating the chairman for the House's Committee, the Senate Committee on Modernization. Yantuan, who is a virgin in the Senate, was able to propose and push, and today we see that the Senate is launching a website that will grant the public access to information from the Senate. This is good news. Congratulations to the Senate. Congratulations to Yantuan for the innovation. And let me say also congratulations to Yomli, because as she decided to fight it, or not support it, I think to some extent it could have stalled. And so yes, all the senators won in this case, a win for everybody. And I think we look forward now to see the frequency of information that will be loaded or uploaded on the website. We do not have to be calling people, I mean, Henry Camus, I need this document. I need the draft of this bill. You know, so other people we used to know in the Senate press bureau don't even call them or go reach out to them because I'm told all of them have left. Gerald Tompo left. Alfred Johnson left. Alex Noah is now representative. He left. Charles Brown has left. Those teaching in command director, Gerald Tompo director, assistant director for the assistant. So Gerald Tompo, Alfred Johnson, Alex Noah, Charles Brown. So they all have left the Senate. So no one there again to that we can make reference to maybe. So that's it for the reporters. I think we need to give them access, man. Uh, I want to advise. You see, I want to caution Speaker Kuhn to that tonight. When you go to political war and the war is over, most of your utterances should be centered around leadership, should be centered around governance, should be focused on reconciliation. Because every time you make reference to a fresh crisis, you create a space for people to stay away. People who were openly coming into your space to work with you, and and support you in the interest of his or constituency, in the interest of national unity. Every time you make reference to those memories, they are still fresh. You create more barriers or more hardness, stiffness between the space between you and and reconciliation. And I think you should stop talking loosely and focus on governance conversation. It needs to focus on more on administrative conversations, that will enhance effectiveness and efficiency in the house and enhance reconciliation. Because the position he has to use that position to leverage the quality of reconciliation that we want to see, the quality of unity, the quality of leadership that the public has been yearning for. Constituents still do not have confidence in the legislature. So rebranding, you can use that to leverage whatever conversation you want to talk about, you want to hold about rebranding the legislature. It's important. That's why this is one of the many reasons why certain people or most people or people are encouraged to go to chase leadership position, public offices, because they want to effect change. So we can see the change, then it becomes useless and regrettable having people like you in the legislature. So we need to focus our conversation, our utterances more on leadership, governance, administration, and all of that. Then what happened in the past, making reference that the removal of KAWAH was driven by political motives. These conversations are not necessary. There has to be a time where we call it call an end to the political rhetorics and then focus on governance. So those of you who are close to Kuhn, I think myself will have to send him a message. I'll forward this to him, this article, and send him a message and tell him hey, Mr. Speaker, you've won already. You're in charge now. You need to focus on more governance and administrative issues than these petty issues. These are, for me, I consider them petty issues now because, as far as I'm concerned, what we wanted was for the legal process to be followed, to have a speaker elected, and to have a speaker out or ousted. The one legal process was that the speaker resigned. Another one was that an election was held and a new speaker was elected. That's all we wanted. Follow the legal process to change your speaker or to remove your speaker. You could use political pressure to have it resign. That's no issue. But you cannot use political means or pressure to elect a new speaker when the old speaker had not resigned. So we have to understand these things. Okay, so let's move into we are gradually hitting where we are supposed to go. So I'll call it list at the end of the show. So your text messages, let's talk the other issues. This is the list. I have the list here, so don't worry. I have the list here. So we'll call it list at the end of the show. So that's going to be the last thing we'll do. We will call the list of these 17 persons at the end of the show that the police have highlighted to be persons of interest, because that's the caption. PORS, persons of interest. So let's move on to. Let me play this recording first. Then I read all of the different statements. All of the different statements. Creighton Duncan, where are you? Creighton Duncan. Okay, Creighton. So this is what the Senator Creighton Duncan had to say last week. I think it was last week, Tuesday. Yes, it was the 20th. So it was last week. Tuesday. Last week, Tuesday. Okay, let me bring this down and play this for you to hear. Senator Creighton Duncan.
Country, there is no more employment with these various companies and concessions.
Okay.
Agreement that comes into enforcement. Everyone is now on contract basis. And the reason for that is to be able to run away from the different benefits that appearance.
Okay, so let's listen.
Thank you. This has been brought to an understanding that the minister is asking us for 2 weeks to return and give us the categories of the 8,000. Happy that we have come to that conclusion. However, I have a concern, and since the minister is here, it goes in line with that of the concern of Senator Dallas Dillon of Monserrato. Now into our country, there is no more employment with these various companies and concessions agreement that comes into enforcement. Everyone is now on contractual basis. And the reason for that is to be able to run away from the different benefits that appearance supposed to be having. Retirement benefit, medical benefit, leave, annual leave at the end of the year. All of those things are being stripped away by these concessions that we bring here and these investors that are into our country. Sometimes I wonder if they are really investors. The word investor doesn't apply to them. There's Sano County. We have about over 5 logging companies situated there. There is no employment. Also, if you check on logging company people that have them brought in, you will check that in the log yard, maybe there are 3 persons there, with maybe 2 securities in the day, 2 securities in the night. So you have about 8 Liberians employed in the entire logging company. I'm wondering, what is the purpose of us having these people in Liberia when they cannot employ our people? After 3 months, according to your law, they can be employed. But for that 3 months, they will sign 6 months contract and then another 6 months. And then after no contract again, they will work continuously for 2-3 years on that 3 months contract they signed 4 years ago. So this is something I need you to really look at, and when you come back, be able to tell us. Also, the so-called investment of these people that are coming here, they are not investing. They are exploiting. It is the exploitation of our, as we were discussing before we cut it off just for you to come in, we cannot barely fix our roads because we don't have money. Everything we rely on a few taxes that we generate. When we know that you're supposed to be telling us that those laws should not be cut by a man who just brings $2 million here and become $20 million richer when he goes by cutting our laws to putting it on the ship. Then let Liberians do it ourselves. We can sit down, other people can get rich. Then when Liberian men want to get rich, everybody's fighting, holding him down. You're a senator, you're not supposed to invest. You're a representative, you're not supposed to have money. Then when we leave this job, in the end, after 2 months, we have no money, and the very people there be laughing and saying, oh, he used to be. Look how he's fighting for taxes. But then when this so-called investor come, in 2 years, they get 20, 30 million, and they go back to their home. But we can get it. So let the employment business come. If you can't employ, you're not capable of exploiting our resources. You can't employ. You don't want to pay the adequate benefits. Madam Putin, arrest.
Okay. Thank you. Because of the nature, what the other man say? You don't matter what you say. You will be there. Okay. Thank you. This video is coming in from the Ministry of Justice 2 minutes ago. Okay, and a source from within the Ministry of Justice just for let me this release. Okay, from the Ministry of Justice. So we're going to read that. Thank you. No problem. You also, we're not supporting you, but we'll support your work. Okay, so we have it. Now, because of time, I'm not going to go into this Crypto Dunking conversation. I will spare it for tomorrow because I have huge interest. It's a sensitive matter. It boils on two principal pillars of our democracy, or of any democracy anyway. The economics of it, the security of it. So I want to spend some time, a lot of time, just having this conversation. All of you too, we can join tomorrow and talk about this. There are sensitive issues that Senator Johnson raised, Senator Duncan raised. And just to understand, these conversations were being held in the presence of the Minister of Labor. Remember, the Senate has the Minister of Labor under oath. He has not been discharged. The Minister of Labor had told the Senate that the government of Liberia, has issued 8,000 work permits. 8,000 work permits. This means that 8,000 foreigners, 8,000 non-Liberians have been issued work permit to work in our country. They say no job in the country, right? No jobs in the country. Mr. Barker promised to provide jobs for Liberians. No job in the country. People are jobless. But this government has issued 8,000 work permits. It means this government has allowed 8,000 human beings, non-Liberians, to come in your country and work. There are critical questions. Categorize the work permits for us that you issue. Categorize means tell us, place them in different categories or divide them. Tell us the type of job that you issue the work permit for. The 8,000. Say, for example, 1,000 persons are heavy-duty mechanics. 1,000 of them are accountants with CPAs. 1,000 of them are water dryers. They can dry, sea dryers. They can dry the sea. They want to school and learn how to dry the sea or how to dry river. So we brought them in the country to come and help us to dry river while we are doing our mining activity or doing our fishing activities and what have you. And tell us which sectors are they employing? Are they into logging? Are they into fishery? Are they into agriculture? What type of agriculture are they into? Are they into transportation? What type of transportation are they into? Water transport, land transport, air transport? Tell us which categorize them. So you see how the conversation has not gone anywhere. You know that it's a whole long conversation. That's why I said tomorrow we are going to have an elaborate conversation about this thing. And then the senator spoke about the contractual issue, which is key because we have many cases here before us. Somebody goes to get a job, a Liberian, you give the Liberian man a contract. If company say the investor, B Martin, that one. No. B Martin still got contractors on there who have worked there for over 2 years. They are still contractors. B Martin. So let me not run into that discussion. Tomorrow, all of you who are listening to this show, and you are working in the different companies, the different investments, the different industry, and what have you, any type of work there, you know somebody who was doing, somebody who was doing at any of these so-called investments, whether Hamid Brego, whether who's Golden Ferrarion, whether MOPPO, anywhere. Let them know tomorrow. We want to share their experience with us. And those of you listening, if you want to reach out to us after the show, good. We will be glad to have a conversation with you. We are going to spend our time talking about this. Because Liberians must be able to work in their country and earn money. I made reference the other day to these different supermarkets. If I was labor inspector in this country or labor minister, nobody, nowhere man will sit down behind supermarket cage and say they're doing cashier work. You go to the building material stores, you see them there. They're issuing checks, receipts. They issue you receipts, you buy, they issue you the writing receipts. No Liberian yet to write to issue receipts. You go to pay, Liberian does not receive money in a building material store in this country. You go and buy your building materials, you go to the building material store, that Lebanese man or Indian man go and receive, or one Indian boy, Indian girl go and receive money from you. Charge you, pay, issue them the money, they do your receipt, they give it to you. You see Liberian be doing store ball or security work also. It's good that Senator Duncan raised this thing. These are issues that we are supposed to make national conversation. But again, we have a rescue that is basically concerned about expressing or venting personal vendetta, leaving the real issues. These are the real issues. And let's see how the Senate is going to deal with this. And let's hope that lawmakers, representatives also in the House can join the Senate to handle this matter. Hope it's not another showmanship of the Boston rigging in our legislature. So let's move into our discussion. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Okay, so then move to our discussion. We'll talk that one tomorrow. Okay, so where is this recording? Let me play you this recording firstly. Then we'll move to the different statements that have been issued. And then we can go on to... So let's listen to Senator Snow briefly. This is a statement that sparked all of the controversies we are talking about tonight.
He doesn't do better than his coach. I think he will do better. I think Justin so can move them from power. What do you think is the problem? I said want him to be a one-time president, so he doesn't do better than his coach.
Let's play that again.
And so he doesn't do better than his coach. I think he will do better. I think Justin so can move them from power. What do you think is the problem? I said want him to be a one-time president, so he doesn't do better than his coach.
I just want him to be a one-term president. So if he does not do better, then it's good. I just want him to be a one-term president. So if he doesn't do better, then it's good. This is the original statement. There is another one being circulated. That was the reappearance of Senator Snow on Spoon FM. So he had been invited to clarify what he meant, and he reiterated. In fact, he further elaborated on his statement. But this is the original statement. I hope he doesn't do better. Then it's good.
I think he will do better. I think Justin so can move them from power.
You think he will do better? I hope he doesn't.
I said want him to be a one-time president, so he doesn't do better than his...
I just want him to be a one-term president, so if he doesn't do better, then it's good. Now, let's play. Let's go to the different statements that we have here. So just after that, a statement by Senator Snow, it became rowdy on social media. Multiple attacks were coming from the government against Senator Snow and all of that. And then Senator Snow talked to his, and then the government officiated their attacks by issuing a statement against Senator Snow. By issuing a statement against Senator Snow. And then, so let me read what the government issued on Saturday. Okay, this is what the government issued. Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism statement by the government of Liberia. That means some small. The government of Liberia condemns recent irresponsible and inflammatory statement made by Bombay County Senator Edwin Snow, who is also a member of the ECOWAS Parliament, in which he vowed to use his connections at the sub-regional body ECOWAS to ensure the failure of the government of Liberia led by President Joseph Yeman Boakai Sr. The government of Liberia condemns recent irresponsible and inflammatory. So those are two strong words that you have to keep in your mind. Irresponsible and inflammatory. Mr. Snow declared that he would do, in quotation, he would do everything possible, including using his connections in ECOWAS to make the Boakai-led government to fail, even if it means discouraging foreign direct investment to Liberia and making the country ungovernable and unstable until he, Snow, becomes president of Liberia, unquote. The government said that it's no see. I wish our fact checkers can start fact checking these attributions. The government of Liberia reminds Mr. Snow and other officials who may hold similar thought that no citizen is licensed to undermine his or her own country and government by vowing to use ECOWAS internal institutions or other international organizations to either promote their selfish ambitions or plot destabilization. The government of Liberia calls on all sub-regional, regional, and international organizations to ensure that such plan by Mr. Snow and his collaborators to undermine and destabilize the Liberian government is not actualized. Liberia continues to remain a champion of peace, security, and economic integration within the Rural Union, MRU, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, African Union, AU, and the broader international system. The government assures the citizens of Liberia that it has the capacity to, at all times, meet its obligations to the Liberian people and will do all it can to succeed, keep the country safe, and show stability and prevent those wishing to cause chaos from achieving their intentions. The government concludes by urging the Liberian people to work continuously with and lend support to their government to meet their needs and build a prosperous nation. Jerolimic Pia, name is not here, but I think this is his signature, or this should be his signature. The Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism is captured under the signature portion. So I don't know. I'm not familiar with Pia's signature, but it is signed by somebody. And normally he is the one who signed that. So administratively, or from the professional standpoint, this signature, anybody will ascribe the signature, not anybody now. People who get sense, who've experienced, will ascribe the signature to Jeremy Pierre. Why? Because there is a standard way for a proxy signature to be applied on an official document. Yeah. All that small thing we be going to secretarial sign, go to the one, go to that one. So there is a standard way for a proxy signature to be applied, on an official document. And so what we were trained to and taught is that when you are proxying or what we call PP for uh, the actual person who is supposed to sign this document, you are supposed to indicate PP, for example, and then PP, and then your signature, and you put your name there. Eh? Yeah, name will be there. The person who is PP, the person's name is supposed to be there. It will be indicated. PP. So the fact that these are missing from the communication, I can safely say from that, within that context of from that background, that this is the signature of Jeremy Pia, which is not the more important, which is not an issue anyway. Now, after this statement was issued, Senator Snow also issued a response. He responded, and let me read what he wrote on his official page. Okay, yesterday he wrote, press statement, Senator Edwin Melvin Snow Jr. responds to the unfounded and malicious accusations by the government of Liberia. It is with deep concern and profound disappointment that I respond to an official statement issued by the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism of the Republic of Liberia, which falsely attributes to me inflammatory and irresponsible remarks intended to undermine and destabilize the government of Liberia. This statement was issued while I am currently on official assignment in the Kingdom of Sweden as part of a mission of the ECOWAS Parliament. The timing and content of this accusation are not only inappropriate, but also reflective of a disturbing and deliberate attempt to damage my reputation and cast aspersions on my integrity as a statesman, representative of the Liberian people, and a responsible member of the opposition. Let me state unequivocally and for the record, I categorically reject and condemn these allegations as entirely baseless, malicious, and politically motivated. I wish to state for the record that at no point have I made any statement that could be interpreted as inciting panic, promoting instability, or threatening the democratic order of our country. Neither have I leveraged my networks in ECOWAS, internal institutions, or other international organizations to orchestrate destabilization of the Liberian government. The irresponsible and reckless statement issued by the government of Liberia amounts to nothing less than an implicit accusations of treason, one of the gravest charges under our constitution that I do not take lightly. Such an accusation is not only wholly unfounded and defamatory, but also constitutes a serious affront to the principles of democracy, the rule of law, and the constitutional safeguards that protect all citizens of our republic. This act by the government further sets a dangerous and unacceptable precedent, one that threatens the very fabric of our democracy and the fundamental rights of every Liberian, particularly those who exercise their legitimate right. Hey, you can't call me when you know you listen to the show. I'm on radio, then you calling me? No. You can't do it. Particularly those who exercise their legitimate right to speak truth to power. It is increasingly evident that this development forms part of a calculated and malicious smear campaign designed to discredit, intimidate, and silence me and other critical voices of the opposition in the national discourse. In view of this regrettable development, I have taken the difficult decision to terminate my participation in the ECOWAS Parliament mission. Okay, the decision to terminate my participation in the ECOWAS Parliament mission and return home. I have formally communicated this matter to the Honorable Liberian Senate, registering my grave concerns over the implications of such unfounded accusations against my person and calling for a full-scale, immediate, independent, and comprehensive investigation into this matter. I further call upon the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, the African Union, and the United Nations, the European Union, and all of Liberia's bilateral and multilateral partners to closely monitor this development as and what appears to be an emerging pattern of political intimidation and persecution. I remain resolute in my commitment to the values of democracy, good governance, accountability, and the inalienable right of every Liberian to express themselves freely and without fear of retribution. May God continue to bless the Republic of Liberia. So, Snow, this is what Snow has written. And, too many. The statements are many. Yeah, okay. Let me try and see what I can just read what they want from the NPP, and then we can move into our discussion. Let me read this one from the NPP. Okay. So this one is from the National Patriotic Party Party. The National Patriotic Party expresses a grave concern over the recent allegation implicating its partisan Senator Edwin Melvin Snow Jr., Senator of Bombay County, in a purported plot to destabilize the government of Liberia. The NPP firmly demands that the government of Liberia present credible and substantive evidence that meets the threshold of sufficiency to convince the Liberian people that Senator Snow was involved in planning any subversive activities, whether within or outside the territorial bounds of Liberia. The party holds the view that Senator Snow has consistently conducted himself with responsibility and integrity, both at home and abroad. As a citizen of the Republic, he reserves the right, like all Liberians, to freely express his views and participate in national political discourse. The NPP is mindful of Liberia's history, particularly of past despotic regimes that employed false accusations to suppress opposition voices. In the absence of clear and compelling evidence, the party regards this allegation as remnants of those dark periods. Accordingly, the NPP finds it difficult to ascribe credibility to such a serious and treasonable accusation against its policy. And this is where I have problem with the statement from the NPP without the support of convincing empirical evidence. Furthermore, the party is deeply concerned that the government's handling of this matter has placed Senator Snow and his family at serious risks. So you see, this statement is good. It's necessary that the NPP issue the statement. I'm going to start my conversation from here. You see, writing can be easy and writing can be hard, especially when you're constructing and structuring. I mean, when you're structuring your writings and your stuff, because you don't want to be sounding contradictory and or inconsistent on the issue. Your thoughts have to be consistent. You can 1 minute be condemning, then another minute you say you're not taking it seriously. To sit down and make a decision to decide to condemn a statement means that statement must be strong and serious. But in the condemnation, you say you're not taking it seriously. Yeah. I mean, MPP has some very good writers that we are followers. We're followers of their writings. So, but the MPP to be talking about, to be telling us that they're not taking, they're not. 1 minute they're not taking it seriously. Another minute they're taking it seriously. Another minute they want the other one. Me, I don't understand. So you gotta be clear. MP has to be clear. What did she want to say? You taking it seriously? Now, The NPP finds it difficult to ascribe credibility to such a serious and traceable accusation against its partisans who are support of convincing empirical. This is strong. The NPP is mindful of Liberia's history, particularly of past despotic regimes that employ false accusations to suppress opposition voices. In the absence of clear and compelling evidence, the party regards this allegation as remnants of those dark periods. The party holds the view that Senator Snow was considered as a citizen of the Republic, the NPP firmly demands that the government of Liberia present credible threshold. So that's it, folks. So you see, I'm going to stop here and see what I have to say to all of you tonight. I said I'm going to read a statement from the Ministry of Justice. Let me just read that statement and move into this conversation before I forget. Okay. Yeah, they just sent me now. I'm meaning to wait for them. Free of chat. So, May 26, 2025, the Ministry of Justice is pleased to inform the public that an autopsy was requested in the suspicious death of 19-year-old Yakpawolo Mosema, who died on January 6, 2025, while in police custody at the Vanjaman Police Depot in Vanjaman City, Lofa County. As a result of that request, the autopsy was conducted on March 22, 2025 by the state pathologist, Dr. Benedict Cooley, in the presence of family members of the late Museum and members of various law enforcement agencies at the Tedewin Memorial Hospital, Vanjaman, Lofa County. The autopsy report has established that the cause of death is unnatural. In view of the above, the Ministry of Justice has launched an immediate investigation based on the findings of the autopsy report and will keep the public updated as the investigation progresses. Judunu Wakali, Director of Press and Public Affairs, Ministry of Justice. Thank you. So we'll now move into the investigation now. Now it is established that the foul play, she didn't die a natural death. We'll move into now to follow the investigation. Now, you see, folks, I will start by sending a caution to Liberians, not the government. And there is a reason why I am sending a caution to Liberians and not the government. For more indication, those who are presiding over the state have convinced us that they are reckless, they are careless, they are irresponsible, they are vindictive, and they do not, or they are not interested in anything that resembles peace or reconciliation, or peace and reconciliation. Yes, the government has shown to all of us that it is not interested in anything that resembles peace or reconciliation, or peace and reconciliation. At that point, or at this point, the responsibility now has been shifted. Let me repeat. At this point, the responsibility to keep our peace, the responsibility to sustain our peace has been shifted to you Liberians in the communities in the different countries and living in other parts of the world in the diaspora. That responsibility has been shifted to all of us Liberians. This means that we should not and we cannot or must not embrace anything that comes from other CDC leaders or UP leaders under the guise of politics, under the guise of supporting a political class or a political ideology. Let me repeat. This means the fact that sustaining the peace of our country has shifted to us Liberians by the fact that our government has shown that she does not respect the law. That's the carelessness I was talking about and recklessness. It says to us that the responsibility to protect and respect and sustain our peace has shifted to we, the Liberian people, the ordinary people in the communities. But that, it says to me, and I'm transferring that caution to you. I'm saying that caution to you, that we should not and must not accept anything that comes from other, whether CDC leaders or UP leaders or ANC leaders or MPP leaders. We should be able to self-regulate. We should be able to self-evaluate statements that come from these politicians. Yes, the opposition community has been doing well to pressure the government, to keep the government feet to the fire, to do the right thing, to respect the laws. The government has blatantly said, no, we are not respected. We are not respecting the law. We are not going to go by the laws and everything. At this point, it means you Liberians now, we have to keep the peace. And so don't listen to anything that comes from these people, especially the government. If you read what the government wrote, initially when I saw the statement, I said, oh, man, they can play for too. You know, that's what I said. I said these guys are playful. You won't tell me the government sat down and wrote this thing under the Ministry of Information, under the Minister of Information signature, and under the Ministry of Information, local and Emily and all of that? Government cannot be broad day lying on human beings, on your citizens, only because you believe that he's too powerful and too influential, and you don't want him at ECOWAS and all of that, and so you think about sending. Who will you take and send to ECOWAS that will grow the influence that Snow has representing Liberia? Who the lawmaker? Do you know how many years it took Senator Snow to build the influence that he has grown in ECOWAS? You think that money is spent? No, that networking. And then it comes with trust. Because his colleagues trust him, his colleagues have expensive confidence in his willingness to work, his effectiveness, his submissiveness. They say we can work with this person, his tolerance, his patience. So they say we can work with him. He passed through the ranks. Ask yourself, how come Liberia has 5 representatives to ECOWAS? And this is not new. Liberia has always had 5 representatives to ECOWAS. Have you sat down and asked yourself, why is it Snow is always being projected as the face for Liberia? Because one is that Snow has been the face for, they have been the head of delegation. Repeatedly. They have always made him. Because when you name the 5 persons to ECOWAS, they can sit down and say, okay, we elect you as chair or head of the delegation. So you will be used to make Liberia's case. So ask the different colleagues, how come all of you have been appointing, electing Snow as head of delegation, head of delegation, head of delegation? How come? So ask your Liberian lawmakers first. Now, as head of delegation, all these people, ask yourself, how come Liberia became deputy speaker? You know? Yeah. I forgot the lawmaker who was the deputy speaker then. But Liberia became deputy speaker. I think third deputy speaker. I will get the lawmaker name. Intense lobbying. I will get the lawmaker name. So we've come now. We've come a long way with Snow. So if you are afraid of his influence in ECOWAS, you don't have to accuse him falsely. Just go to Yomli, say, Yomli, please recall Snow please rally signatures, to tell signature here for us to recall Snow or recall the delegation from ECOWAS. Barker has the Senate in his pocket. Barker has Yomli in his pocket. Go to Yomli, raise the two-third majority signature. If you think you are that powerful, you are that influential, go to the Senate and raise the two-third signature and get Eddie Snow all of there. ECOWAS will honor it because ECOWAS has a 3-year rule. But now, the government is angry, and this is the real reason. The government is angry because they believe that during the fight in the House, Eddie Snow, they believe that he might have used his connection at ECOWAS to not recognize Richard Coon, to have ECOWAS not recognizing Richard Coon as speaker, even though they knew that they were intentionally violating the laws and Richard Coon was never elected speaker at the time. They wanted ECOWAS to recognize him. And Snow and others said, no, you have to do it the right way. And he was clear with his opinion on the matter that the removal of KAWAH is illegal. So they believe that all the attempts that were made by the government to have ECOWAS recognize Richard Coon as speaker, they didn't get it through, and so they consider that as a fight against the government. They consider that as an attack against the government. So when the dust is settled, we too will go back to start a fight. You gotta focus on governance, my people. How is just launching multiple attacks instead of launching multiple projects? Instead of focusing on launching multiple developmental projects, the government is focused on launching multiple political attacks, inviting more enemies onto ourselves and against the government. And you think you're going for a Snow that he won't go and fight. You think you're going for a Jean Pa, you think that Jean Pa won't go and fight. You think you're going for a Man Lapu that won't go and fight. Man Lapu has a followers. You have a 1-year failure already, 2024. You already have you're already at a halfway mark in your next year, in your second year, which is already a failure. Now, you have 3 more years. 3 months. After 3 months, you will have to start discussing your budget for 2026. Because in the third quarter of the budget, or at the close of the third quarter, the Ministry of Finance should start thinking about submitting a new budget for 2026. We'll start demanding budget performance report from these land ministries and agencies or government or spending entities. Let's see what you achieve in 2024 and 2025. So 2 years gone already, you're going to 2026. Because 3 months from now, 2025 finish, we will be talking 2026. You starting your budget debate in this year. And you're more focused on engaging into political facts that will pay you nothing good. Just to create more enemies and more opponents for yourself. And then at this point, I come into to sound the Eddie Snow. I pray that Joe Barker will fire more people. I pray that Joe Barker and his UP government will launch more political attacks and create more political enemies for herself, because I too want the government to be a one-term government. I too want Joe Barker to be a one-term president. So I can sit down on the radio and pray to God. So God, please strengthen Joe Barker and Jeremy Piale and Jeremiah Kunde to launch more political fights. Let them fight more people. Let them fight plenty of people and create more enemies for themselves. Let them create more hate for themselves. Let them create more oppositions for themselves. Because the more people are angry and hating the government, they will vote against the government, and the government will turn out to become a one-term system. Yes, you fighting. People fight you, then you say, oh no, when are you supposed to fight? So you piao, all of you who running around, who fighting everybody, removing people from 10 new jobs. What do you expect them to do? Serve you ice cream? You are chasing people who are making 50, 70 $100 at Ministry of State. Just cleaners, clean just to be sweeping that yard. You chase all of them off the jobs. What do you want in return? That the political party will come and serve you ice cream? What are you talking about? You go to the Supreme Court, you talking about removing, impeaching 2 or 3 associate justices of the Supreme Court and all of that. What do you expect in return? You go to Capitol Building, you launch another war in the House to remove a famous politician in this country, an influential politician in the country. You go to Capitol Building and fought him not to be speaker, and you think he's going to sit down and put his hands between his legs or come to you with ice cream, honey, and milk? No. He's going to use his influence to make you unpopular. This is a political game. Edwin Snow has said repeatedly that he wants to be president. Do you think Edwin Snow will sit down and allow you to just start running around, increasing your popularity? No. He will fight you. Fighting you does not mean pray for Joe Burger to die. It doesn't mean pray for Joe Burger not to build our roads. It doesn't mean pray for Joe Burger not to expand our electricity grid. It doesn't mean pray for Joe Burger not to build our schools and increase our teacher salaries and our nurses' salaries and equip our hospitals. That's not what it means. It means we pray that Joe Burger will do what he can do within his reach, within a range. But we do not want him to get access to anything that will make him, that will give him our assuring secure for him a second term. A level you have to go to and pray and hustle to look for things that will help you secure second chance. It's just simple. Now, that statement issue, for me, I'm becoming disappointed in diplomacy. And I was actually considering going to the Foreign Service Institute, but I think I wouldn't always stay there. I will go to my law school on a serious note. Because for me, I mean, at times diplomacy can be disappointing and discouraging. At times, diplomacy can be a total disappointment. But again, at times, it can be, motivating and helpful and releasing, at times too. But the statement issued by the government is strong enough to plunge this country into chaos. This is a direct attack on free speech. This is a direct attack on our democracy. The right to speech is a fundamental pillar. It's a fundamental human right and a cardinal pillar to democracy. We can't trade it to appease our personal or selfish political motives. We can't trade that. You have the right to disagree with what Snow will say, or Austin will say, or Khan will say. But to try to place a spin on it and attempt to declare him in the manner and form you've done, that is risky. You are indirectly telling your supporters when you see any store anywhere, you beat him, you spoil his car. That's what you're telling your supporters. Do you know what destabilizing a country is? Did you people consider all? These Kofi Woods is sitting right in Joe Burger's office. Right in his office. If you tell me, look, if I don't have respect for anybody in Joe Burger's office, Kofi Woods, even if that 5% respect, it will be there for Kofi Woods because of his background and his history. You just sit down. Just sit down. You just sit down and wear one trash and just put rubbish inside it and send it outside. Reducing the Ministry of Information to a entire sharp center. Treading on lies and hearsay and they say and fabrication. Look, Ministry of Information is supposed to be fabricating stories against a citizen, a senator, an ambassador for Liberia to the West African region. The whole Ministry of Information is sitting down and documenting and fabricating lies and documenting their fabrication of their lies and signing. You can, me. Hey, Jesus. I can't believe that we are at this stage where the Ministry of Information will be fabricating lies against a senator or a citizen in the name of politics. This responsibility is on fact checkers. Afas Benine, Petit Byron, Justin. Yo, we fast check this statement that the government ascribe or attribute to Edwin Snow. We will pressure all of you. Tomorrow, they whole week for it. This whole week, we are for it. If that one CDC person was going to say was going to say this thing, they finish running to go fast check. They finish running to go fast check. The debate started since last week. It is causing chaos in our country. It is causing further political pain in our country and further political division. This statement issued by the government could create a lifetime hate or hatred between any Snow's political base and political class and Jeremy Pierre, the UP people political class. That's how hatred can start. Political hatred can start. Today you're talking about Joe Barker and George Weah. You guys are not seeing what is happening now. Today the UP is creating another hate. You say Snow say he's cutting short his trip to return to this country. That's how seriously he takes this statement from the government. And some of you say you're playing politics. This is no politics. This is no politics. This is dangerous for our democracy. It's dangerous for our democracy. How did we get here? How did we get here? The other day I told one of my UP beginning and saying, he said, I said, my man, if you guys can start the advocacy to tell Joe Barra to step down, it will be too good for us. A country that has a president that is not in charge of the country, that country is a lawless and reckless place. This is the case with Liberia. Mr. Bwaka is finished. He's done. The old man is done. I feel for the old man every day and night. I feel for him. I pity this old man. I pity him. This old man is 80 years old. He's 80 years old. 3 years and some months older than my father. Yes. 3 years and some months older than my father. He is supposed to be resting, relaxing with a great-grandchildren, having fun, enjoying his old age. We say, okay, because of the experience, let's test it. Even though we warn you, we said, don't test it. Governance in this country is not a try and error thing. It's not a testing thing. You say you won't test it. You see the mess and the disaster we're in. The old man is clueless. The old man is not in touch. He's disconnected from the happenings of the day. The old man is caged. He's caged. He's caged. He can't see anything. He can't hear anything. They will not allow him to see anything. They wouldn't allow him to hear anything. And so they are mismanaging the state and running it into ruin. If this government is not careful, and if all of you listen to me, especially the U.S. Embassy, if this government is not careful, the U.S. Embassy will be in Liberia, and Liberia will deteriorate into some kind of political chaos that will be beyond the control of the U.S. government. I'm saying this. If you guys up the hill or Basin Street cannot start checkmating the government, we're not saying call them publicly. You have your political affairs office. You have a responsibility here. You have interest here. The government is proceeding the government continues to proceed in manners and forms that are strong enough to provoke civil upheaval in this country and cause violence and destruction of properties in this country, which will be beyond your control or will be too late for you to intervene. The government is treading the wrong path. The government is inciting tension and violence in this country. The government is inviting chaos onto itself. The government is provoking the citizens and at the same time or correspondingly provoking opposition leaders, opposition figures, and harassing and intimidating and calming down on critical voices in the country. What kind of sensible government would choose to do all these three things at the same time? What kind of sensible government would choose to do these three things at the same time? You're chasing critical voices, intimidating critical voices. I'm about to call the names of the 17 names of people that the government, the police, that the police has instructed to be tilled. Tilling them for what? Tilling them for what? Let me call the names and open the telephone lines for you to call in. And have your say. Tilling them for what? I will reread somebody said yeah, so I will reread the names and then I will post the names because the premiership is a police officer premiership. So I'm not going to post this list because they will definitely be able to trace the police officer because they call all the police officers and told them to write their names in their own premierships. All the officers on that project. They call all of them and told them after they tap the list and no, y'all bring out list back. All of y'all sit down here. All of y'all sit down here and write the names in your own premierships. In case they leak, we will know. You will be the prime suspect. So I'm not going to take that risk. The person keys everything in the something. So these are things that can cause people not to trust you again because it means you are not capable of handling sensitive information or sensitive documents. They didn't leak by that person, by that officer, you get a job. Yeah. So these are the names, 17 names that the CDC, the police. It is captioned POIS. I'm told it's a representation for persons of interest. Initially, the names were 16. And according to our source, when they sent the 16 names down, later on, according to our source, the police RG office also sent down the 17th name. And that 17th name was the former vice president, Jiwa Taylor. So here are the 17 names that the police is currently tilting. Anywhere you go, your call logs, everything is being monitored. Your call logs, your movements, everything is being monitored. Austin KAWAH, I'm the one telling all of you 17 individuals that I'm about to call your names. Your call logs, your calls, your text, your entire in fact, they put your numbers, all your numbers, your two major numbers. They have all your numbers. LTA has all your numbers. And they have your line, your telephone lines being monitored on a daily basis. I can show all of you. They have all your numbers and your calls, your phones, your everything is being monitored on a daily basis. With the police, they have surveillance behind you and all of that. How you enter your homes, how you leave your homes, where you can pass to enter and where you can pass to leave, all of that. The state is on your backs. Number one is mobile K model. Number 2 is Chocon. I will read just as it is written here. Number 2 on the list is Chocon Gray. Yellow machine, in parentheses, yellow machine. And the caption head, Supreme Motorcycle. Number 1, mobile K model. Number 2, Chocon Gray. In parentheses, they have yellow machine. Head of Supreme Motorcycle. Number 3, Abdul Kane, National Gatekeeper. Number 4, Avin Wisse, Youth Chair CDC. Say Youth Chair CDC. Who do you Avin Wisse that Youth Chair for the CDC? Number 4 is Avin Wisse, Youth Chair CDC. Number 5, Akaros Gray. Number 6, Sylvester Wheeler, Soup Chairman. In parentheses, it says Soup Chairman. In parentheses here. So number 6, y'all who are super is your chairman. His name is on the list. Number 6, Sylvester Wheeler, Soup Chairman. Number 7, Poker Robber CDC. Number 8, Horatio Gould ANC. Number 9, Jangako CDC. Number 10, Alexander Cummings ANC. Number 11, Tiawan Gonglo. Tiawan Se Gonglo. Number 12, Fode and Masakwe CDC COP. Number 13, Honorable Yeke Koluba. Number 14, Honorable Marvin Ko. Number 14, Marvin Ko. Number 15, Ambitious Moba, Secretary General. It said the Secretary for SOUP or for CDC COP. I don't know. Somebody who knows the person can please let me know. But the name is spelled ONECROU, Onicious Moba. Somebody please help me with this person who I see Secretary General. I don't know whether he's a Secretary General for SOUP or he's the Secretary General for CDC COP. But his name is on this list as the number 15. That's number 15 on the list. Onicious Moba. They just have Secretary General. You know, the screenshot I was taking, so the position there is not showing in the screenshot. Then the picture that was done, sorry. And then number 16, Honorable Frank Safoko. And number 17, Jefferson Tamakoji. So these are the names. These are the names. Okay, the person said 18 because the 17 came down and then they brought another one to make it 18, which is the vice president, the former vice president, Joao Taylor. So the 17 names here and then the 18th is about. Thank you for the correction. Okay, so that's it. So there are 18 persons we're talking about here, right? 18 persons. I was getting it wrong. So it's 18 persons. The 17 are the names that originally came down, and then the 18th is the 18th name that came down later on as an addendum to the list is the former vice president Joao Taylor. So these are the lists: Mobile Model, Chocon Gray, Motorcycle, Supreme Motorcycle, Abdul Kane, Avin Wisse, Akaros Gray, Sylvester Wheeler, Soup Chairman, Poker Robber CDC, Horatio Gould ANC, Jangako CDC, Alexander Cummings ANC, Tiawan Se Gonglo, Fode and Masakwe CDC COP, Yeke Koluba, Marvin Ko, Onicious Moba, Frank Safoko, Jefferson Koji, and the 17th is the vice president, former vice president Joao Howard Taylor. So those are the 18 names on the police surveillance, state-sponsored surveillance. So all your conversations, everything is being monitored now by the state. You don't say, I'm telling you. If you ask me whether I trust my source, I'll tell you 98.999% I trust this source. Nobody in the police can deny this information. Nobody in the police can deny this information. So let's go to the telephone lines and pick calls on 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Those are the numbers to call and join the show tonight. To join the show, those of you in the diaspora, the number to call is +231 886 500 104. Let's go. Let's take calls from here first with this person. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Auntie KAWAH.
How are you there?
J.D. Williams. I'm calling from Johnsonville.
Okay, go ahead.
So, quickly to the issue, the names that you gave just now, during the June 7 protest they have, they are not far-sighted than any other person. The list, the communication they had a personal and private SIM card that was registered in individual, ordinary citizen names that they were using to communicate with each other because they didn't want for the information to be leaked until the protest was successful, so they started using the mainland. So they are not gods, we are Liberians. And nobody can stop anybody from going through protests. Another issue has to do with Honorable Snow. Honorable Snow is one of the long-serving person in the parliament when it comes to ECOWAS activity. And still to be corrected, other countries, people went from one term and they never got re-elected. In the countries, somebody took the position. So he has vast knowledge when it comes to not to be. And another thing for Liberia to set a caveat as a campaign for them to gain that seat, which is just a slack chance for them to get it, is because ECOWAS was abused and insulted by them when they had the renegade lawmaker, and at the end result, it went viral with ECOWAS and EU. Everybody had the information. So with this, who can trust a country that had a crisis with two speakers and the legitimate speaker was denied in the process? At the end result, you now went through the process. Who can trust this kind of person? With all of the activities that ongoing, you took care about it for other countries, you did cut and paste on it. On your own, it's reality. The GFK hospital, my grandson died the other time. We went there.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. We want to go straight. Take more calls. That the main fear is that you know, for me, I wish Liberia can win a seat on the non-permanent seat on the Security Council. I wish for that. But the amount of in which the government is proceeding is making things difficult. You know, ECOWAS. ECOWAS is a showcase. Go ahead, Masisi.
I didn't hear my new listen. What's going on?
They both say you are no threat to them, so they put your name there.
I put threat to them. Okay, black and family in class are two different times. They have no threat to them. What about black and family in class are two different times with a black and black clothes on them.
The book can locate you anytime they won't find you, so they ain't put your name.
Problem with that for me, I can die for my country anytime I follow them. Why bother for the power? They shouldn't be a fellow. You fighting for a seat today, you can't in the country. Anywhere you fight them, but they all in the street. And the thing will be a threat to protest. No! That's why you told us we are getting point in the country. Any flag that we are getting. Why you want to put on the nation? You want to go after them? Because you feel their opposition? No! You keep this country, you say, oh, we are getting people. Now they don't go messy. You are protecting all when they play you practice all from the blockbuster in this country. They almost brought the airport down. Why you got to put it there? You think, well, if you are afraid, you lie. You can get everybody in the country. So we're coming outside to do something. We're coming outside to me on the charity of the land. We're coming outside. But for what you see, it will be a nationwide protest. What is it? A fellow what needs and it will be a friend the land. Oh, thank you.
Go ahead, Gus. Gus, go ahead.
Yes,
oh, Gus, we have to make an adjustment and call back. Your network is terrible, so just make some adjustment and call back on the same number. Let's hear you. Good evening to you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Hussein. This is Hussein.
Hill. I call from Jacobson.
Go ahead, Hussein.
Yeah, thank you always. So, also listening to a different talking point. You got the right to protest, and the government is under the obligation to guarantee your protest action. That is enshrined in the Constitution, Article 17. But your protest comes with responsibilities. So often, I'm not going to question your
Weble in Article 17 say government supposed to condone or guide a protest.
No, I said protest that is peaceful assembly is guaranteed on the Constitution, Article 17. I didn't say government have to protect your protest.
No, he said government on an obligation to guarantee your protest.
Yeah, because the government is on an obligation to protect the Constitution.
Okay, yeah. So I want to also be clear of the context now, because he says somebody guarantee your existence. Okay.
Yes, because Article 17 is enshrined that people can peaceful assemble. So government is on an obligation to protect the citizens. That is constitutional. So also, I'm not going to question your souls, but I thought if even the government will answer people.
That's correct. This list does not say government after people, because instead using after people now, they trying to fabricate or misinterpret information. Government is not after people. I didn't say government after people. Government is not after people. I said government. This scheme from up with an instruction to the Intelligence Bureau to keep these people under surveillance. And that is scheme after the meeting that was held at ANC office in on PB Road.
Yeah, you are a journalist. I'm not going to question your source, but I think if there was surveillance on serious matter Liberians who are serious matter opposition to this government, it will be the Eugene Nangbe, it will be in the Kalasco. You're talking about one. I know I call him gatekeeper one Atukana.
Who's in? Yeah. You see, we young people have to be careful at times how we be dismissive in the name of politics. You're not a police officer, and you don't know whether. Let's assume the list is authentic. So you tell me now you are more sophisticated than the police that did the list, and include Abdul Khan. So the people who did the list, they were stupid. No, what you say, the people who did the list, they were foolish or didn't get sense. That's what it means.
No, you don't have to get that impression.
But no, that's the impression you gave me now. You're more sophisticated than the police people who did a list.
No, so this is what I was saying, right?
The way people do lists, security people can do lists. They gotta be rich people. 1 minute, they gotta be rich people or political party leaders or tabras. There are some people who are mobilizers. There are some people on the grassroots base that know how to mobilize people in the communities.
You're right.
So I different reason why police will include people in on this. Not necessarily because they top brass.
Yeah, so this is why I'm not intending to undermine your souls, right? So this is what I said, or saying I'm not going to question your souls, right? So now, take for example, Abdul Khan cannot mobilize on the Eugene.
My man, you see me. Don't have another one. We're not doing mobilization competition here. Oh God, I answer your call, they drop the line again. I end up using call just to tell you they drop the line again. Let me take somebody from here. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Just don't call in on the show. We got to be calling out here too much because people can be marking people's names.
That's true.
Yeah, I call from Bronzeville anyway. And brother, I always listen to you. Let me tell you, before Bwaka, could get in power, 2023, November, before that election result could come up, I had this dream. Bwaka won the election. Journalists interviewed Bwaka, how you going to run this country? And he couldn't answer any other question. He was fighting to answer the question. And then those guys that were around him, guarding him, they have blood tie, blood on all their head with bandage tie on it. And one of them, and one of them was my schoolmate. We're in school together. And, it came to pass. A special aid, is my schoolmate from UL. Huh?
Don't be calling people in the office when they trace you. You see the special aid at your schoolmate from here, they will start thinking now. Terrorists will start thinking, who they passing? The terrorists know your voice good.
They will not do it. They will not do it. Yeah. So that dream, it came to pass. And before you could get in power, the kidnap took place to King Joe. I saw that in my dream. And it came to pass. So black guy gonna find it difficult to rule this country. You're gonna find it difficult. I saw that long time, and I interpreted that dream. Yeah.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. We hope we need to express or share some of these things, especially this dream. Hello.
Yeah, okay, let us know. Yes.
Who's that? Who's he?
Yeah, this is Hussein.
Hussein, just conclude in 1 second or 2. I'll give 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Thank you. So I don't know how many people know that Austin had a friend by the name Mo Ali. Austin had a friend by the name Amos Dwyer. I don't know how many of your listeners or followers know that your friends are Mo, your friends are Amos Dwyer of the LPRC. So we have different sides, but we are not enemies. We can disagree and agree on different national issues.
Yeah, but some of your government officials are projecting, or the way they are proceeding could just destabilize this country, which we do not pray for and we're not going to support, because they have to be careful too in their utterances and their engagements. Even and discourse across all the political sides.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so send God be careful. We encourage you guys to have a wider platform to keep it peaceful. You can disagree, but let it be in the form and manner that people will not go against the government, they will not go against their own country. That is all we got. 2029 is yet fine. Let us see how we can move forward.
Thank you very much. God's help. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you so much, Austin. Let me say good evening again. I've listened to recent proceedings permeating in the country, and I've taken keen interest in the recent one coming from the Ministry of Information, accusing the Speaker, the Senator or Honorable Snow. First thing first, we cannot have an information minister who listens or not or lack understanding.
Because even rare incident Mario, but his line, his telephone always having issue. Rare incident Mario, God's David. I don't know why he always having network problem. Hello. Oh, you have to move away from your monitor to be a participant on the show. Good evening to you. Let's hear you. Hello, let's hear you.
All our problem in this country is from that American embassy. All the problem.
Why is it so?
The American embassy, the American embassy is a political cartel. These people, they come here.
Oh, my man, you want don't come and show you trouble. You call the people embassy political cartel.
My brother, I'm telling you, these people they spread this country from the beginning up to today. They are destroying us. They bring Chancellor all the way. They start to turn against Chancellor. They bring Prince Johnson in. They do business with Prince Johnson. And now today, at the end of the day, Chancellor attacked that embassy. Yesterday, they were with Ellen Johnson Selig. The other day, they came again. They are here for the second time. I'm telling you, these people that are cartel over there, all our problem in this country is from that embassy. You check the other. Even the mining now, Jonka and the Ukrainian, the mining now in, how they call it, Guinea, try to use that train way all the way coming here. These people, they are business people. The Ukraine and other stuff, they are involved into Nigeria business. These people, they are very dangerous. I want you to check what I'm telling you. Go behind, check thoroughly. You will tell me tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next person, that's his views. Those are his views. He's entitled to his views. Hello, let's hear you.
Good evening.
Please go ahead. Okay.
Thank you very much. For me, I want to tell all Nigerians, we are not afraid of this government. The people are more than the government. The people made the government. So if this government see that they can intimidate people, they can have people listen.
Because that's surprising. You guys know what the EPA director said, the former VP, and what he previously said for the former president. So these guys, they are playing. And I said to some of them, we are not afraid. July 17, we will come out. If you see you have the power, more than President Trump, what is doing today? If you see you have power, more than Chancellor, what is Chancellor today? We will tell you that we Liberians, we the citizens, we the people, we have the power. If things are going in the country that is not satisfactory to the citizens, we have the right to demand our power, our government to do what is right. You cannot intimidate us. Don't order for get people come on. Because they are treating people in the I know you are not in it. And they treat them. We put more army, more military, we put more. And tell me if they are about money the citizens. We will come out on the 17th in our numbers. We will come out and our message will be given. And the government is on the full obligation to listen to us and take into consideration our demand. But we are not deterred. Let anybody who wants to live our life. Listen there. We will come out. You cannot intimidate out. So there we will listen when we come out. We will be afraid. We will not be afraid. We will come out. We are Liberians. This is our country. We cannot be deported from here. So we are prepared with the president boys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll take 2 more calls and go home. Good evening to you. Please, let's hear you.
Yeah. Hello, how are you, my brother?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, I'm Mr. Gadwa from calling from our center. Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. I really want to say something. If you're talking about protest and all the things talking about listening and wow, you would have just hear that.
Hello, good evening to you. Let's hear you.
Hello, Austin.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, my son Austin. Thank you for having me. They never get me one IC question. The way you get all the radio station entire you get this for the Australia to be calling on all the radio station. That is only job you know when you whether you go to LPRC. So they listen I was just read you want to say that if we talking about we all are Nigerians, we have to fight for peace. Why the government are they fighting for peace? Are they united people? Are they unifier? Especially the Abba Joseph Baka and Grandpa. The way all the radio station he can't even go to a opposition, a government radio station, only opposition because they can get info for the Chicago. You go to LPRC, you get it one. You go to all the ministry agencies to go get Chicago. So you can call all the radio station. So that way you just see that everybody there. Thank you for having me, Ma Beatrice, calling for the PHP community.
Thank you, Ma Beatrice. Thank you. Good evening to you.
Yeah, KAWAH.
How are you? Who's in Kiaula area?
Bless God. I've been listening to freedom. It's to learn something over my heart to call.
What is that?
Thank you. If the government see that they can try our model, because the police is nothing for all. The police is nothing for all. We the S for pattern and just leave here our model is here we protect all in all angles. If they just try nonsense, they will get to see the weight of the S for pattern and media and our model is here we protect all in all angles. So that's why I've been listening to freedom, but I can't call. But when it comes to drug terror, our model, when they just try nonsense, they will get to know because the police is nothing for all. They know very well it's nothing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. We have to go home. We always stealing 15 minutes and we've gone 14 minutes. So they say the devil walk. Okay, folks, that's how we go home. We said to you, the hungry man. This song starts the political sermon. And closes the same.
Happy to but hunger stay killing us. If you live to see the next day, you must think of. You got our people that will vote and stay fooling us.
On this note, we'd like to say thanks to all of you for joining the fellowship tonight. And we shall be back here tomorrow by God's grace. Our man God said you have to work on your network, my man.
For you.
So now I know you really, really wanted to participate, but thanks to all of you in the diaspora for following. The thousands of you following us via our online radio. And those of you who watch us via our Facebook handle, YouTube. We shall be back tomorrow by God's grace. Until then, do have yourselves pleasant moments in your respective areas. Austin KAWAH. Bye-bye.